this is an interesting setup, but it is part of this mindset that I have that nothing should stop you from putting what you need to put out. Now, I have a whole plan for my next few months. I don't know if you can see it, but this plan has to be followed whether or not I have my regular tools, whether or not my regular space is available, whether or not I have the time. Following the plan is one of the best ways to build your brand. And so this is me following the plan. This is not our regular recording space, but I'm going to show up regardless because we need to put this video out and you need what I'm going to share with you in this video, and nothing is going to stop us from doing that. So today we're talking about how you're going to show up afraid, because you see, we cannot keep waiting for you to stop feeling fear, because guess what? Fear doesn't stop. I've been at this creative industry, creative business building, online building, talking on the internet, whatever we're calling it, since 2019, and there is nothing I have launched. The podcast, the book, the YouTube channel, the Instagram, the TikTok, there is nothing that I've put out that I have not felt afraid at first, or I had not felt fear before I put it out. It is the ability to do it regardless of the fear that matters, and that's what we're talking about today. I remember, right, while I was trying to launch my podcast, the fear I felt, because number one, there was nobody I knew in real life that had a podcast. Do you know how scary that is? I'm an African woman building from Nigeria at this point, and we're very cultural where I come from. So the fact that I was doing something so out of the box, already I was facing like side comments and snide remarks as to how I was always online and doing online stuff. So adding the podcast to it, where I was required to come and talk every week, that was scary. I was afraid that I wouldn't be consistent. I mean, I was already struggling with putting out YouTube. I was already trying to figure out Instagram. I was already writing on Substack. How could I add this? So I was scared that I would start something that I couldn't finish. I was scared that nobody would take me seriously, because, I mean, what kind of life, right, requires you talking to people you don't know in random days? All of those things. And of course, there was the what if I fail. There's always that fear whenever you're trying, especially if you're building online, because you're actually building in public. So there's that fear of what if I fail. So I had all of those fears. And I remember feeling that is why the first episode of the podcast was Doing It Afraid, because I knew exactly what that felt like. But at that point, I already knew not to treat my ideas like nice to haves. I already knew to treat my ideas like the assignments that they are. And so that just allowed me to start regardless of how afraid I was feeling. So what exactly is fear and how does it show up? Fear is a sign that you're leaving your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is comfortable. I'm at the brink of making a decision with my husband that's going to affect the rest of our family. And we're really looking at it. I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling fear because it's a big step, and we're not sure whether it's going to work or not. We're just going to take the step and see what comes out of it. But I also know to recognize that a lot of that fear is because I'm leaving my comfort zone. It's going to need me to not be as comfortable as I have been. And of course, discomfort, nobody likes discomfort. So fear can come when you're leaving your comfort zone and you'd rather not. Fear is also a response to imagined rejection. Now, when you think about putting that brand out, or starting the podcast, or putting out the book, or putting out the offer, or creating the offer, or starting the newsletter, or whatever it is that your personal brand requires of you, you are afraid because you imagine that people might reject you. And humans, we fear rejection. We hate it when we put out a call and nobody responds. There is something vastly embarrassing about it, but it is what it is. I've been watching Gilded Age and I love it so much. I love anything that is period dramas, period movies, old English, old American. I love it. I've been watching Gilded Age. 10 over 10 would recommend. And it's mainly about this lady who is trying to enter society. So she's new money and the old money guys are not having it, but she's not having it too. Like, she's here to take everything. So she hosts like a dinner of some sorts and nobody comes. So that is an absolute snub, right? Did she die? She didn't die. She tried again. And right now she's winning. I'm in season 2. My point is, we all fear being rejected, but that should not stop you from trying, because every last person that has anything at all right now in the world was at some point scared of rejection, but they did it anyways, and here is the result. One of my favorite examples is Rihanna with Fenty, because there was already, with the lingerie department, there was already like the Victoria's Secrets and whatnot, and Fenty Savage still found market share. With Fenty, the cosmetics section, there were already amazing brands like MAC, right? But she still found her place. She could have been scared that those places were already taken and she should stick with singing, and we're still waiting for an album, by the way, but she tried. My point is, you cannot let the fear of losing the game keep you from playing it. I want to say that is my quote, but I heard it from the Cinderella that Hilary Duff acted in. Fear can also come in when it's trying to protect you from risk, because really that's the whole point of fear in the first place, to keep you safe, right? But we also know that great things do not happen from safe places. So allow yourself take the risk. Allow yourself do it regardless of the fear you feel. And like I said, if you're building a personal brand, you're going to face fear at every point in your journey. The first post, the first offer, the first call to action, the first time you go live, the first price increase, the next price increase, there's always going to be some fear. But learning to do it regardless is what the game is about. So let me give you practical steps to do it regardless. Number one, you want to name the fear. There is something that is just gigantic about a vague fear. It's like you're just scared of something. You're not exactly clear on the something. Have you ever watched a movie where the scene is like, oh, there are sounds in the night and there's growling and the person is scared and the sounds are even scaring you, the watcher, just to realize that it was a dog trying to eat from a trash can, right? That is what fear does. It just heightens your senses, and you're afraid of what you don't even know. You're just afraid. So name the fear. What exactly are you scared of? I'm scared that if I make this post, nobody will like. I'm afraid that if I show up, nobody will think I'm qualified. Fear thrives in vagueness. And if you don't know the problem, you cannot find the solution. So find the fear you're feeling and name it. Number two, once you name it, speak back to it. That thing cannot have a hold on you. Answer it with the actual truth. Answer it with evidence. If you are scared that you're not qualified, find evidence that you're qualified. If you're just starting out with your personal brand, in the Big Yes course, I show you how to find the things that qualify you. And they're not always a piece of paper or an institution, right? You get qualified in different ways. Find evidence of your qualification if that is your fear. If your fear is that people will ghost you and air you and they will not like your stuff, remember the evidence you give is if even just one person is helped by this post, I have done what I was sent to do. So reply it and give it evidence. The third thing you want to do is do the smallest, bravest thing. I remember when we were starting Enterprise and Heels, and the first brunch, we were scared we wouldn't get 20 women to come for that brunch. Just for context, our last conference had about 150 women. So getting 20 women, in 2022 was a scary feat. And let me tell you, in the end, we had 25 women just because we had already planned for that. But it just taught me that anyhow you start, that's not how you will end. And this is like our second annual conference we're preparing for now. We are already hitting 150 mark, and it's only going to get bigger. The point I'm trying to say is start the smallest you can. Start anyhow. Make the smallest, bravest step. And if you don't even know what that step is for you, I created a free worksheet called the Big Yes Worksheet that will allow you to find what your next brave step is, to even find the things that have been keeping you down, that have been holding you back from taking that step. So the link is in the description. If you're ready to take these steps, I also have the Big Yes course that I've created just for you to start taking action immediately. I've got 12 video lessons for you in that course, but most importantly, the templates that you need to start taking action. The excuses that I hear is, Paula, I don't know how to write, I'm too scared, I'm not creative as such, but you have an idea and you have a solution. These templates will help you start immediately using my personal framework and process. The link is also in the description. So your smallest, bravest thing, post the story on Instagram, make the post, make the reel, get on camera, write, whatever it is that your smallest, bravest action is, take it. Number 4, I need you to separate your identity from the outcome. The outcome of your efforts is not your identity. Do not for a second forget who and whose you are. If the idea flops, you didn't fail. If the offer flops, you're not a failure. You tried something, it didn't work, you try again, you try it in a different way. Now you know what not to do. If the idea didn't land, the timing was off. If the offer didn't sell, maybe you didn't do enough of the process ahead of time. Doesn't mean you're a failure. You are already a winner by virtue of being God's child. So don't let temporary results tell you about your worthiness. All right, finally, I want you to anchor in something bigger. You did not send yourself to this earth. You are a child of God who has been brought here on assignment. Don't let anything stop you from walking in that truth. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things means I can try 57 times if need be for me to get this result. I will show up for this brand even though by human eyes it doesn't look like any progress is being made. I can do all things, not just the easy things. I can do hard things too, through Christ who strengthens me. All things, even the things that make me afraid. So the truth is, if you ever try to do anything in this world, anything meaningful, fear is going to show up like a little bug. It's going to show up. But what you do when fear shows up is the difference between the people that win, the people that stick it out, and the people that give up. And I can tell you that what is on the other side of hanging in there, regardless of the fear, is beautiful. It's success. It is trust in yourself. It is your ability to impact people and build legacies. So what's your next brave thing? I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments what you're working on and how I can help, or share with us because we want to know. You can send me a DM at paulapool.co. By the way, let's connect on Instagram, paulapool.co. And all of the links that I talked about, the free worksheet and the paid course, are all in the description as well. If you're new here, you're welcome to the community. This is a great time to subscribe. I'm here every week with something that's going to help you build the business, the brand, and the life of your dreams. Also, if this was helpful, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. I will see you next week. Bye.